Hey, Lena. It's about your bedtime, isn't it, sis? We'll see who wants to play, and if nobody does, that's cool too. That's cool too. Put that up there with the other stuff. Dirty water. Can you hear me, Lena? Hey, Jilly. Glad to see you. This is just a little pop-up. I've decided that sometimes I do better when I don't plan it. Get my YouTube up here. Cool. Y'all remember I need to move my camera up just a little bit. That was set for Silver Point, wasn't it? My oil painting play on the jelly plate the other day. It still smells like safflower oil in here. Hey, Cheshire. Kim. Oh, cool, because I'm just going to be playing a little bit. Nothing stressful today. I think I've done enough stressful this last week. Anyway, it has been months. Remember this little guy? And it's just, really close to being finished. I kept looking and looking and looking. I would have been on 10 minutes ago, but I thought this was my first one. And then I found the first one and realized it's this one. So it's been a while. Did that at Rosemary's the last time I was there. So that's been a while. Oh, wow. Look at there, 2 clean pages. Okay, the oil stuff. Everything went really well. I did get my little set of, hi Gail, Arteza. Let me get that. I had to clean up from the Silver Point. Great price. Gosh, I just hate throwing away envelopes with bubble wrap. Anyway, I got these. I mean, y'all know me, but I'm not going to use a $30 tube of paint for jelly printing. Sorry. So I got these, and they were on special for Labor Day. And I think I got 24 of them for $20-ish. So they're not very big, but that's fine. I can always supplement the white. The reason I got it is because when you're in the throes of jelly printing, you don't want to have to stop and mix or think about what you're going to mix because you're too much on the fly. Oh, that's cool, Kim. Anybody I missed? Wendy. It's late over there for you too. Anyway, this is good stuff and it's good enough for the jelly plate. Okay, so I'm not going to get that out today. I do advise trying it with oils. I'm not advise, recommend. And the reason is because it makes beautiful, different prints. Put that away. Put that over. Okay. And I took pictures of the plate before I printed it. Because sometimes you'll see something on your plate that you like, and it's just not, you're never going to get that as a print because all this stuff's going to be on the bottom. So anyway, I've got those. The last ones are dry. And so I can use some of this in today's work if I choose. Look at all this. This is one session. My little portable hanging rack worked great. Okay, what I want to do is get a credit card. I think, where would I look? Right there. There, I'll use this little thing today. I want to use some chalk paste. This is the redesign by, oh crap, not Finnabear, Prima, no, yes, Prima? They don't really say redesign, so they must be having a new thing going on. Get a palette knife. These little plastic ones are great. Now what I'm wanting to do, there's so many good tools and you go, oh man, I love that. And I want some if I can get the lid off. Whoa, that was a workout. Made me have tears in my eyes. I've been trying to store these things upside down because that does help with the air. Get rid of the excess. And junk brush, junk brush. Talking to myself. I'm doing this because the chalk paste that I bought are heavy on the hue or the chroma of the color, and I kind of wanted to alter that a little bit. Do without all the crud, can't we? When I bought these, and I bought them for the silver point like I did the other day, you know, something new at Walmart, so I bought it. And got home and found out it worked great with silver point. And I don't even remember why I tried it. Don't need that up in there. Now I need some pepper. Should have done that before, huh? I saved a bunch of papers just for this purpose and printing that I did. Okay, I'm happy with that. Now, I think I'm just going to do the same color over here. I have a plan. We'll see. This stuff smells good too. Okay. Water. We'll put some water in that. Put the lid back on that. Now by the time I get what I want over here, I'm going to get my little Prima watercolors. Now let me see what's going on with chat while I let that dry a little. I can get my chair tucked. Dry this for a minute. Okay. CBD. God, this smells good. Hey, Linda. Glad you made it, sweetie. Well, I've got a surprise for you guys. Which is, I had so many positive comments about the silver point the other day. And I don't know if y'all know or not, but I tried Patreon 3 years ago, maybe. And it just didn't work for me. But what I am going to do, since I already have Teachable going for my big class, I'm going to start a little subscription. I don't probably need the paper now. Kind of like Patreon, but it'll be on my Teachable's site. It'll be a subscription. And I'm going to focus more on teaching than just sitting here playing. Which, I mean, I like doing this too. And I'm probably going to have it up and running. It'll take me a few weeks. But say you want pan pastel, hey, let me know, because I've got a full set 4 feet away from me. We can do, that reminds me of bubble gum. We can do shrimp, we can do jambalaya, we can do fried shrimp, boiled shrimp. I could do, let's see, just off the top of my head, pan pastels as a painting form, pan pastels on the jelly plate, pan pastels through a stencil, you know, whatever we think up. And I might just do it as small. Shit, I can't do anything small, but not marathon type stuff. And if I put out 2 a week or so, and you're paying $5, $6 for that with freebies, because I'll do a lot of behind the scenes stuff too. Anyway, that's my plan. You like that? Kathy Teachable's fabulous. I've been real happy with it. I've had mine set up for 2 years, I think. I'll still be doing what I do now on YouTube Go. Oh, thanks, Gina. Lena. Yeah, I mean, I was reminded that my repertoire of mediums is quite large, and I don't know that there's a whole lot I haven't tried. Done sculpting too, but I don't think we want a class on that. I love sculpting. Okay, I'm going to use my shimmering lights, and I'm going to use this brush I just used. I love these brushes, what's left of this one. It's a low Cornell I got at Joann's, and it's a soft touch, and it really is soft. So I use them, I like them in oil, and I'll use them there until they get too worn out, and then I'll switch, use them for encaustic. And I've sometimes put a straw on the end and taped it so I'd have a longer handle for oil. So that I really do love these brushes. I got a stock of them somewhere. I don't know where it is. All right. I'm just going to use some of these colors that I haven't ever used before. And this is the shimmery. And I need 2 dirty water. That's how good I plan today. A pipette gets more of the pan wet. Linda, remember that day we tried to match this bronzy, light brownie color with the Daniel Smith? I need to put this up a little bit. I don't know what I'm doing here. I mean, I don't have a plan. The chalk paste, and whoever said that is right too. Kathy, was it you? About chalk paste being good for pastels or chalk paint. So I could even do a class on how to make your own pastel ground instead of having to buy it. I got all kinds of little tricks. Does that sound kind of interesting for a reasonable price? Hope so, because I'm I'm doing it. Excuse me while I make some drippage. Is everything looking and sounding okay where y'all are? This is the Shimmering Lights. I really enjoy these paints. I don't use them near enough. And I don't use my good brushes with them because they are rough. You can feel the grit. When you put your brush on them. Isn't that fun to watch stuff just drip? And yes, I say the same thing. I wouldn't do a what I call a good painting or a gallery painting with these. But I like using them because the colors that are pre-mixed, we all know that, they've chosen for us, are cool. And they're not impossible to mix, but they are little. And if I use them up, I will get more. By hook or by crook. I signed up for Wanderlust last night. I've always looked at their list of teachers. And I did that last night, and they have got a bang-up group of teachers this year. So I decided that I needed it. Now, those of you who've done it a lot before need to keep me involved so I won't blow it off again like I did one year with Willowing Tam, her deal. Okay. Let me check with y'all while this settles. Yes, it does, Lena. And I've been noticing that for, golly, since I was in the art world. I mean, I'm still in that, but they're just not as much fun as the crafting group. They don't share as much. They don't enjoy being on lives. It's just different. It's not better. It's just different. And I should be shot because I'm an associate member of the Pastel Society of America, which is the granddaddy of all the international associations of pastel. And all that means is that I've submitted my paintings to their specifications and just need to submit one more round of paintings to be considered for full membership. The reason I didn't finish it was because I didn't have money for dues. So that's my story there. I've also gotten points toward being in the master circle for another pastel group, which is the International Association of Pastel Artists, not Pastel Societies. Sorry, Urana. That's where I met Bernie, the girl that owns Pen Pastel. I've been next door to her at 2 different trade shows that the Pastel Society had. But I never talked about that stuff much. Different world. And I quit competing because that is exorbitant. I had 2 paintings juried into a show, an international show. And by the time I shipped them, because they're framed with glass, and you have to ship them in a specially sized box with foam cut for that size, and then in another shipping box, and then FedEx them. And then FedEx delivers them to one location, and then there's a shipping service or a cartage service or something like that picks them up from that location and takes them to where they're going to be set up. By the time all was said and done and I got them back home, it was $800 just for the shipping. So that's how that came down for me. Hi, Jules. Hi, Dad. Are you streaming tonight, Dad? I may overlap you just a little. I just felt like doing something. Let's see, things I've done. I've painted realistic and acrylic. Of course, acrylic craft, journaling, collage, linocut printing. I'm going to do some woodcut printing. Wood block like the old Japanese stuff. Same general idea as the linocut. Soft pastel, which is a big deal. Oil, encaustic, silver point, Sauce. That's a German clay charcoal. Awesome. What else? I feel like I'm leaving something out. A lot of drawing. That's still damp. Okay, let's see what we might want to play with on that. I've been classically trained to paint in oil, portraiture, trained in pastel portraiture too, different animals. But they're all so similar. Everything is similar. So what you learn in one medium, you take with you to another. These are my oil prints. Gosh, it's been a long time since I've done this. maybe. It'll cancel all the, oh, I'll show you all this. This is the photograph of the plate before I printed, and this is the print. See how different they are? Anyway, I like it. That one's kind of got the colors. Okay, let's start with those. And just see what I might want to do while that finishes drying. What else have I done? A lot of watercolor landscapes. I've done watercolor portraits. And I mean, I've had training, let's put it that way. That's why I spent so much money in the 10 years after the fire, because I was studying with everybody that got close enough to me to teach. I'm liking this one. And Linda's been in my studio and actually studied with me. She did a fabulous pair in soft pastel using what she already knew from watercolor. The only thing you have to know different are the particular characteristics of that medium. And once you know that, all your other practice and art and all that comes in handy. Kicks in gear. I'm going to put just a little strip. Anyway, art is, y'all know, saved my life. So that's why I want to share it, share what I know. That's my mission. I started out wanting to do a foundation for Sarah, and we had First Alert here in Bentonville that volunteered to support it, but I was not well, and by the time I got well, I was painting full time, so I changed what I was going to do. So let's go ahead and put that down. I know. When you get into mixed media, you just, back then with Linda, I had, let's see, put this on. Put the glue on the paper and see if I was able to get 3 people in my studio. I barely have room for me now. I'll find Linda's pair and show it to you. It's really cool. She did it like she'd been doing it forever. Of course, she had a good teacher. This paper, this print is on, is the Japanese calligraphy paper, so it's rather fragile. I don't want to run the risk of tearing it. It also wasn't quite dry. That's why I got some of that, but that's okay. I like it. I keep all these little pieces. Oh, these are my favorite clips, you guys. You get them in a package at the counter at the Dollar Tree. I think there's 10 in a pack. Wait a minute, I've got a full pack. And every time I go there, there's 6 in a pack for $1. But I love them because they're plastic coated metal and they don't mark the paper quite as bad. So every time I go through Dollar Tree, I pick up a few packs because you know how clips can disappear. You know what? I don't think that's the exact print. It's close. It happened at some point during that. See if might be kind of cool if I have it to put the. All right, I can't because I've already got that down. Oh well. Okay, I've already got the print one down. So I think I'm just going to put this one down. And I'm going to put it kind of like that, or no, I'm gonna go with the print just because it makes a conversation piece. If y'all don't follow Beth, you need to. She is a doll about supporting everyone else. That needs to be down. It's like that. There are too many of us streaming right now to pick a time when there's not somebody going. I will. I'm gonna put it about right there. I have to think about that next time. And it's quite a little pib group people in the box. Cut it crooked. That's okay too. Pull it down a little bit. Okay. Let's glue this baby up. Yeah, who said that? Kim? Yeah, Kim. That's the problem with mixed media. I mean, there's inexpensive ways to collect it all. Where with fine art, and that's just my way of differentiating between the different. One's not any finer than the other. They're just different. But I can tell you how to get started in any of those mediums that I mentioned for next to nothing, but not with mixed media. Plus, the manufacturers have our number, so they keep coming up with new materials, or a new improved version of whatever it was that you were looking at. And it's expensive. Shoot, you could get a watercolor setup and an oil setup, an encaustic setup. Soft pastels is more expensive because you have to have a stick of every color if you're going to paint anything seriously with them. And they're really not made for crafting. A lot of people are doing it, but they weren't designed for that, or aren't designed for that. Pulling blank. I'm not. Don't say that. This is the paper that comes off one of those wax pencils. You pull the string and you peel the paper off. Well, somebody somewhere liked to put hers in a Crayola twistable. So I bought the twistable, took the crayon out of that one, put the black Sharpie, or not Sharpie, you know what I mean, wax pencil, whatever they're called. Anyway, this is the paper I had left. So I think that just looks like a good way to use that. Already perforated and everything. Put that one right there. And then I'm going to put a bigger one. Everything doesn't have to be matchy-matchy. That's been kicking around my studio for a while. Alrighty, just put it down. We're not going to worry about it. And also in this this new plan I've got, anyone who is a subscriber on that will get a discount on my art. The stuff I do in class and other paintings I've done. So that might be kind of fun. Because Lordy knows, I packed them up the other day to move them. This is what I've done in the past month or so. There's a bunch in there. I'm placing these about the same distance from the edge piece as this is wide. No real reason. Just eyeballing it. That's what makes it so much fun. I think the last time I did this, I didn't even have a real good setup on my desk. That's improved after getting nagged at. I've actually got some real estate. I'm going to promote Robin McClendon again because she's my current crush. Get a drink of water. Check, chat. No, I don't remember that. Oh, Lena. Oh, after her stream. Okay. I can't keep up anymore. And me too, Joycey. I miss you all when I'm not with you. Yeah, me too. My name is Vicki, and I am a wiki craftaholic. I'm reading. And Linda took a dirt road the last 2 years getting caught up in genealogy. I'm still reading. Y'all are talkative today. Kathy, you went to art school? I'm jealous. I had to get everything the hard way. Aren't you glad he was in Australia instead of down the street? Okay. Okay. I caught up, I think. Giving that a chance to dry. And I've got some crunchy bits that are just dying to be used. And I have an obsession with paper. These are just the little bitty pads. Pile it back up over here in my caustic desk. I've missed you so much, my little crafty paints. Martha Stewart colors are really exceptional. That's that Florentine. There's no color in it. It's just the, looked at that one already. It's just got a binder and the gold mica. Oh, hey. Hey now. There it is. I picked up the this watercolor acrylic paint, but this is sienna, and I really kind of want something metallic for whatever this is coming up. Yeah, I haven't been to Walmart in months because Randy does all the shopping, and because of that, I can't do a little run through the art department, just pick up what's new. See, that little roller is over here. And I like using underpaintings. Let's just do some scripting. May not show up, but we'll know it's there. Oh, thank you, Jules. That's exactly why I started doing mixed media, was because I was so realistic. Not photorealistic, I don't do that. But I don't do abstract either. And this is kind of in between. Don't think this plate's ready to get anything off yet, but I'm going to try it. I didn't tell y'all the other day that I was getting ready for the silver point. Maybe I did. And I've got all my markers in about a 6-inch space between my big stainless steel shelf unit and the closet door. So of course I filled it with something, and I took the top of Randy's daddy's old, we didn't get much, computer desk, the ones that had slots for file folders and stuff. I just took the top of it and slid it in there, and it holds all my markers. Well, I was moving it to get ready for the silver point because my bag that I kept a lot of it in was in that little corner. And when I pulled the marker cabinet out, the huge glass vase that I had back from when we had a big house, I mean, that thing was probably 20 inches tall, and the bottom had glass this thick. Anyway, I had it sitting back there holding silk flowers. And it slipped off and broke. Oh, perfect. Perfect. I'm going to do that again. See if I can get any of that over here. And it took me about an hour to clean it out because, of course, I did. I like it. Yeah. Took me about an hour to clean it out because I had to practically stand on my head to use the broom and then try not to cut myself. There it is. A handy dandy little bargain brush pen. Oh, this uses cartridges. Here. You're good. Exactly, Wendy. And when I have money, I spend it. Randy does a good job of that too. We've always been self-employed, and if you hoard money because you don't know how long it's going to last, you'll live like a pauper, and that's okay. A lot of people do that. But I learned that, okay, I got paid on this job and it's enough to last 3-4 months. I don't know when I'll get the next one. So you just go ahead and live. Okay, you're not going to play, are you? Go ahead and live. And you know what? Funny, but the money always seems to be there when you need it. Prime it to pump a little bit. I want one of those old-fashioned Schaefer bottles. Y'all remember those from school? And it had that little half well. When you turn the bottle upside down and turn it back, you had ink in that shallow well. That was a long time ago. And it's fun when you do this intuitive stuff. Zandra still thinks that I do it because I know Japanese. I've told her 3 or 4 times in chat, but she doesn't read it. She goes, I bought a book on Japanese calligraphy and I can't wait to do it like Vicki does. If she knew me at all, she would realize how suspect that is. Okay, there. Ta-da! Easy peasy. I didn't know that Sumi ink turned hard. All right, what am I missing? What am I missing? Linda. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. You too can follow Robin on her YouTube channel. And her Patreon page is, I think I pay $6 and I get all kinds of stuff every month. But I don't want you spending your last $6 there because I want you to spend a $6 with me. All right, let's do this color now. Such a pretty color. I can use that straight. I like the way these have that inner lid. This process right here taught me more about loosening up than anything I've done. Because you don't think, you just grab something. Now, yes, I did grab today the chalk paste ahead of time because I'm determined that I'm not going to waste supplies. Did I tell you guys I joined Wanderlust last night? Fabulous group of teachers, some I'd never heard of, and they're seeming to be a little more art oriented over craft oriented. Not that there's anything wrong with crafts, I keep saying that. But I'll spend money easier on art stuff than I will on craft stuff. And I'll have a better tendency of doing it too. I did TAMS one year at Willowing Arts. And I want to say it was $300. Paid it in 3 months. The end of the year, I hadn't done any of them. So I have to watch that about myself. I got to do a commission by November. Yeah, putting it off as usual. And I have 3 more grands I got to paint, 16 by 20. I wish you'd quit popping out babies. I'm teasing. Every one of them is special. Dirty water. Have I told y'all the story about the time I was in a workshop with Charles Reed? And there's always a couple of women ditzing around that like to be teacher's pet. And so they try to anticipate his every need, which is really funny and all in itself. Anyway, this woman darted up to the work table, grabbed his water container, and was about halfway away with it when he said, "Bring that back." He works during the first hour trying to get his paint water dirty enough he can use it. I thought that was hysterical. Where's my brush? Let's see how dirty this is. Not quite there yet. Oh man. Don't know what I'm gonna do, so I'm gonna do the same thing. Just do some squares. Yeah, when Linda was here that time, I was using this beautiful color and worrying about running out. I don't think I've used it since. But I do want the new vintage Prima set. If anybody is wealthy enough, I've been able to sneak a few purchases in just because I'm happen to be home alone when the package comes. And I don't like doing that. I mean, you know, it's stuff that was on closeout, you know? See my watercolor training here? Leave the brush on the paper as long as you can. You're not using a colored pencil where you go like this. Not even really one of my favorite colors of gold, but it'll work. Did y'all know that there are really formulas for, which one did I, oh, this one. Formulas for, I mean, not formulas, but actual composition rules for abstract painting? I was kind of surprised myself. Of course, rules are only there for you to break them, but I think that you kind of need to know what the rules are first, and then you break them. But I'm a white person. I started watercolor, and the first 6 months didn't do anything but read about it. Read classes, study pigment history and chemistry. I'm not kidding. Let's put another stripe of that over here. One of the ladies, older lady that I was around once a week, twice a week, had she was just doing abstracty stuff, and she used to be a pretty good artist, but now she's just doing stuff like that. Was the first time I saw alcohol inks was with her, and I was really amazed at that she was getting enjoyment out of crafts. I was stuck up and snotty, and I was trying to learn how to do realistic painting. Linda, the colors are rosies and like a Ralph Lauren wallpaper. Do you know what I mean? Just kind of faded a little. They're just pretty. Okay, let me see what I've got over here. Mark making. I think it's called Vintage Dreams. There's something kind of pretty. Like I need it. Like I. Come on, something just jump into my hands. No. If you're going to jelly plate, you better figure out a way to use your prints. I still got some stuff that I made when I first jelly printed about 5 years ago. Don't you dare. I don't want to craft a lunch. And cleaned out some stuff that I've been working pretty hard on stuff. My room was kind of a mess. Pulled out a bunch of these jelly papers to put back in their custom keeper box. Here I am rifling through them again. Let's see. Yeah, Gail, I have a tendency. I do computer. I used to do, I was a software expert and did a lot of math and stuff like that. But then I had a creative side too, and they don't like to play at the same time, surprisingly. I'm going to leave that. I'm going to put that over here. Let's worry about this one first. That's not good, is it? This is done with acrylic paint and alcohol to brush on the plate, and you get really neat brush marks because the alcohol makes the paint move around in mysterious ways. I like torn edges over cut, because they meld into the paper when they're glued, the underlayer, but they're also just a little softer. If I had long fake fingernails, I could get up under that. The reason I like that's because of the gold. Now, let's do that. It's fun having a pib that you meet online and then find out they just live an hour and a half away from you. Like Rosemary to the south and Linda to the north. We swap books and DVDs and stuff like that all the time. Okay, I'm going to put this one on first. You remember they used to always say, well, if all you've got is online friends, you're not healthy. Well, I beg to differ. I think we've built a community here that looks out for each other. And that really sometimes is more than you get with real friends. Because we've got something in common that my real friends don't really give a shit about. So y'all are my real friends. I mean, my friends from high school are still costuming when they meet for lunch. You know, the jewelry and the shoes that match their outfit. Between spring and fall, they have to switch their closets. I show up for lunch in a pair of yoga pants, flip flops, or Birkenstocks. Cause I'm me, you know. I don't have to costume to hide my age or have makeup in the wrinkles of my face. Or, you know what I mean? We're artists. I like having dirt between my fingernails. Or not dirt, but paint. Makes me feel productive. All right, that's wearing me out. See if I can do that again. Yeah. Yippee-yi-yo-ki-yay. There we go. Funny thing is, you get me and Rosemary and Shannon Green in a work area by ourselves, and we can go an hour without saying a word. It's the funniest thing. We laugh about it all the time. I was at Shannon's house one day, and no, seriously, we went 2.5 hours without saying a word. We were both lost in our worlds. Now, how did you miss that? Now, if I really get some stuff going and using papers from my stash, and I just pick through them, you put down 4 or 5 different pieces of papers like this right here is different from this one. And you can't tell where one ends and the other begins. And I think that is just cool. Okay, so there's that one. Now, what are we going to do over here? Go check. You guys are really moving today. Kim, yeah, some of those watercolors are great. I remember 23. It was my first bad marriage. Took me a while to get it right. Better known then what I know now. Randy and I have been together 26 years, I think. So I guess it's gonna stick. I honestly don't know how he stands me, but do something different. There, that's nice. Cut edge all the way around. That's nice. Now, what can we do? Oops. Wrong door. Coolest tool I've ever had. It is a circle cutter. That's all you do. Measure from the center out. Got my wheel extended. And I'm sure that I'm not doing it quite right. I sort of got around it. Let's see. Well, hey, that's better anyway. Gives me my little rough edge. Very rough edge. Get it down, get it down. I just don't know how to hold it. And it tore outside the line. How lucky is that? Here it is. And then hold this thing in your hands because that covers the needle point. And then this is the, just closes over the thingy. This is by Olfa. And I really like it better than having to deal with a bunch of punches. And I put black tape here because there's a slider, and when you slide that slider, the blade falls out. I did that the first time I had it. Took a while to find it naturally. Oh, that was good. I did it without the thing. All right. We'll just do it again. That was just a practice run, right? I love it when something works. And it would work better if I did it a little different, but that's fine. This is what I'm after. I'm going to take some of these new stays, well, they're new to me, Stays on inks. This one. These are permanent, like the regular Stays on, but they're really, really cool colors. Put it back on this. And on bra paper, they tend to bleed into the paper. I did a shitty job cutting that. It smells good. I like the way it smells. Now, the thing I like about this is that the under paper is the same as this piece of paper, and they kind of look different. Alrighty. Let me look at chat and see what y'all are doing. Thanks, Linda. Bye, Wendy. See you next week. Do this one first. The way that I got my anal brain to say that this was okay, because I was raised thinking everything you did had to be to make money. And, you know, this is just journaling, you know. And then I realized that this could be a wish book that a client could look through if they wanted something a little better than Hobby Lobby art for their house. Not that there's anything wrong with that. They could look through here, and if they see something that they kind of like, they wanted two 16 by 20s maybe for over their fireplace or something, that's what it could be used for, an idea book. So then it was okay for me to spend my precious time out of the chair away from the TV. Isn't that silly? Look at that color. That's that ink pad. It's kind of an aubergine color. Aubergine. Excuse me. And I learned from Robin McClendon about the Uhu glue stick. Just so much better than using a wet medium, like a matte medium or a watered down Elmer's glue, or God forbid Mod Podge. because the pages don't wrinkle. They're perfectly flat. And that suits my aesthetic. Let's see what I might have over here. I have some homemade washi. I like the white one. I think I'll use it. Now to use this stuff, it's on the white double stick tape, the score tape. Get it started, and I always leave a tail so it's easy to get that piece started. Get it started where you want it. Make sure it's kind of lined up because you only get one crack. That tape is pretty stiff. I mean, you know what I mean. Strong. But I love having my own tape, that is. Nobody can buy it. Okay. Can't find my scissors. And that's why these pages are similar. But they would make a pair. It's also easier to do a spread that, oh, there they are. Do a spread that kind of looks harmonious with the one before. And there you have it. My piece fell off. Okay. Okay. I think that's another one that's done. 6:30. I did 2 spreads. I got to relax. See what y'all are saying. Hey, Sandra. Georgia stream tonight. Yep, I'm done. I'll show Linda a few because she hadn't seen these. I've got one of these books already full. And the goal is to do one a day or something like that. Like if you were keeping an 8 to 5 studio job. And start your day off with something like this. This is a book, a line journal that I got at Goodwill for $1, just inexpensive paper. But every piece of paper in this book I have made. Okay, so that's where some of the creativity comes in. My stamps. Sometimes use, there's no rule against using other stuff, but it gives all of your jelly printing a reason. This is washi tape I got from AliExpress. And this is a beautiful paint by Golden. It's fluid acrylic, bronze, extra fine or something like that. But it's a beautiful color. It's not too yellow. And I'm a colorist. I like bright colors, but I'm really trying to move a little more into the more muted colors. This little piece is from a paisley that I decided I could carve into a stamp block because for some reason, 3 years ago, I took all my rubber stamps off their blocks. So anyway, I thought I'm not going to throw them away. I'm going to see if I can carve into it, make a wood block. Oh my God, nothing would cut through it. I ended up doing a Dremel, and it was a mess. But I'm going to try it again. Not on those. Those aren't too cool, but it doesn't matter. This is a journal. Obviously wasn't in my neutral zone that day. I was this day. Sandra, I was just talking about you. Because every time I'm in my stream and you say you bought a book to learn how to do calligraphy, and I say down in my stream, it's not real. It's fake. I like the colors in this one. And this one. So it's funny how over the course of a few months, your style kind of changes, and it just kind of reflects whatever's going through your life at that minute. And this changes. Sometimes you do small and sometimes you do big, but it's always different. This one's nice. This is a drop paper from just being under my workspace. This is crap. Not parchment. It's the frosted film stuff. And it doesn't stick. I need to come back in there with some PVA glue. And these are embossing powders. It's not going to be fun getting much older. Here's one of the boogers that comes off the top of your acrylic paint bottle. Lots of shiny, but it's very subdued. Sometimes I like this one too. I like the colors in this one. I like this one. Here's a piece of drywall tape, the backing of it. It's sticky, so this is the backing paper. That one's nice. That one's bright. I like these. And this is an oil. What was I doing with that? You know, I think I painted something on the other side, and this was what was left on the palette. So I just did this. It's on watercolor paper. And then before it was dry, I drew my circle. And I thought I could staple it in there, but this paper is so thin in the book, it ripped right out. So that needs to be glued. Here's another piece of drop paper. This is freezer paper. That one's nice and simple. Here's another embossing powder. I probably need to learn a little more about it because this is all clumpy. This is some of that alcohol with acrylic paint on the jelly plate. Just gives it, it's just a different mark. These are papers that I've took photos, I took screenshots of for Japanese fabrics. I don't remember what I was doing. I was doing something with them. I like those too. I like this one. Some more of those fabrics I printed. And if you print them on your inkjet printer on a parchment or onion skin, they look old. I like these. I did this at Rosemary's one day. We were playing with pen pastels on the jelly plate, and I decided that it was too slow for me, so I did a face, and then I printed it on crumpled up brown paper. It's kind of scary, but it looks like a fresco. Here's another one. And this isn't a collage technique like mixed media where you want 15 different layers on it. These are simple. You might only want 1 or 2, 3 elements. So here I've got 1, 2 in paper, and then if you count 3 for the writing on the paper. So it's you think more Asian. You think a little more less is more type thing. Isn't this paper pretty? And this is today. And this is my oil print from the jelly. Using oil paint. And this is a photograph of the plate 1 or 2 iterations away from this one. Although it could be the very next one. That dot is awfully similar. And that's what I just did. Cool. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to teach girls in my little subscription thing. I'm going to teach how to do that. Yes, they are. Use a lot of color shift. And today I used the chalk paste. Yeah, because Lord knows I've got enough information to share on drawing faces. So when I start my subscription site, that's going to be some of the stuff I do. So watch for it. I'm going to put up some kind of a discount plan for early birders. It'll take me about a month to get some classes put in there. And you'll get handouts, source photos, and stuff like that that you can download and print. And it's going to be set up and teachable in my school. Probably it'll be set up like a Patreon page. You know, a $5 membership will get you this, and if you add another couple of dollars, you'll get, I don't know, we might do some webinars in there. We might do some live chatting, you know, like a video conference. So there's lots of things that I can do that aren't that easy to do on YouTube for free. Besides that, that might help keep me in art supplies. All right, guys, that's all I've got for today. I just wanted to drop in and want to learn that page. Which one, baby? Linda? Well, I guess first of all, I would need to get you guys started on making jelly prints that are, you know, in this feel, so you'll have an inventory of stack of papers you can just go through. By Zandra. Yeah, okay, I got you. It took me about 8 years, and I finally figured out a formula that worked for me. And anyway, yeah, she turned out kind of cool, ghosty. We had a big time that day. All right, guys, I'm going to go. Thanks for dropping in. This was just a short and sweet. And one of these days, I'm going to crack out this one. This is the one that Robin McClendon made. The leather smells so good. But I'm saving it for a while. Don't know why. Well, I do know why. Why do we save anything? All right. That's it. Bye. I'm gone. See you later. Bye.